Hello. So in this video, I'm going to explain how to set up alerts and automated emails using Power Automate to send emails when a certain condition is triggered. So I've already done the average defect rate alert, but I'm going to walk you back through it and show you how to set up the output alert. When the output falls below 1,000 units, an alert should be sent. Okay, so um, I put the file in my workspace. So I published the file in my workspace as explained in the previous video. And I created the roles already and assigned the roles to different users within the organization. So here we're going to focus on setting up the alert. So this dashboard here is what I was using yesterday, and I published it to my workspace. So if I come here and open the dashboard, this is the visual that we've been working with, and I have two KPI cards, the total output and the average defect rate. So um, the instructions asked you to create um, an alert and an automated email for when the average defect rate falls below 5%. Okay, so if you want to do that, you have to pin this card to the dashboard by clicking this. I already did that, so instead I'm going to pin this one, the total output, to the dashboard. So pin visual. And once it's pinned to the dashboard, you can set the alerts on it. So I'm going to choose, in your case, you might want to create a new dashboard. So the instructions ask you to create a new dashboard with a certain name. But I already have that dashboard with that name. It's production line monitoring. So I'm just going to use the existing dashboard that I pinned the previous card to and click pin here. And then I want to go to that dashboard. So now I have two cards on this dashboard, the average defect rate and the total output. I've already set up the alert for this, but if you want to see it, you click on the three dots here and then click manage alerts. You can see that I already created this average defect rate alert, and it's set to trigger when the average defect rate percentage is greater than 5%. And I want to set it to every 24 hours. And you want to make sure this box is checked, send me email too, because it's required if you're going to use this Power Automate trigger. So from here, I clicked on this, use Power Automate to trigger additional actions. And then I came here and opened Power Automate. Let me go here. It opened Power Automate, and then I came and added the trigger for the defect rate automated flow. So once it opens Power Automate, you need to go here and click create. And you can see that I already created this defect rate flow. So I can edit it, but I already created it. I can edit it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. Um, I'm going to create a new flow. So let me go and set up the alert for the output. So here, I want to set an alert on this total output instead of the average defect rate. So I'm going to say manage alerts, and I'm going to add a new rule. And the rule is going to be for when the total output falls below a certain amount. So since the output is 57,000, I'll just say let's say that I want to set an alert for when this is below 50,000 because I want the average output total output to be high. So actually, I think originally this was supposed to be the average output, but since I have total output here, I'll make it so that if total output is below 50,000, the alert is triggered. The original idea intent was for if the average output falls below 1,000, but since I've already done total output, I'll just use total output here. And then once again, this is checked. So I'm going to save this just to make sure it's saved, and then I'll come back and open the Power Automate. So I've already created the one for the defect rate. I'm going to close it and then open it again for the total output. So manage alerts, total output, I just created it. So now I'm going to use the Power Automate trigger, Power Automate flow to set up an email that will be sent when this condition is met or this trigger is fired. So if the output is less than 50,000, total output is less than 50,000, I'll get an email saying output is below whatever the expected output is. So you got to create, and in this particular case, we want an automated cloud flow because we want this to be automatically triggered as opposed to an instant cloud flow where you have to manually trigger it by a button or a scheduled cloud flow which triggers or runs at a certain time. So we want automated cloud flow, and I will call this one total output below threshold, something like that. Okay, so the output is below the threshold, and actually the type of trigger that I want. So in your instructions, you will see. I'll share this instruction with you, but I already gave you the steps. So the condition that will trigger this, okay. I want this to the kind of trigger is when a data-driven alert is triggered in Power BI. So I'm going to go here and search for this, and that's the one that shows up. So I'm going to create this, and um, I'm going to use the alert we created in Power BI as the trigger condition. So when this opens, it's always going to say there's an invalid connection. So you click here, and you have to choose the alert that you previously created for this to link to that. So I have the total output alert. I already set up an automated email for average defect. So I'm going to do it for the total output so that you can see the process. And then this is the correct connection, so we're good. And then I'm going to collapse this window. Now the error is gone. And I'm going to add a second an action. And so the action here that I want is send email. Okay, so I told you there are also actions that you can set up. You can send to WhatsApp, you can send to Slack, you can send to Teams, etc. But I want to send an email to Outlook email. So send email v2 is the action I want to add. And I'm going to click on this. And then I want to send this, well, I'm going to send it to myself this time. I sent the previous one to my HR account. So contact and Philly, go there. I'm just going to send the .com, the email to myself this time, and then the subject is I'm just going to customize this subject line here. So it's production alert, but this time it's the total output that's below 50,000. So I'll say low total output, something like that. And then the body of the email, um, I'm going to again use a dummy body. So copy this here and paste this here. So obviously, so this is not the defect rate. The total output, let's just say total output is below 50,000. Okay, I'm just using just to illustrate. So you can put specific details as parameters here, but I'm just showing you the general process. Okay, so once I've created this, I can set this importance to high so that they know, and then make sure it's connected to your account. And then I'm going to collapse this. So now I have this flow setup. Okay, and I can save it. You have to save it before you can test it. So the test will be grayed out. You save it, and then when it's done saving, you'll have the option to test it. So now it's activated. So I click test, and I want to manually test this. So I just click test. So if it works, I should receive an email with that message in the body. And so that's how it works. If you don't receive an email, then maybe you missed a step and you can go back through and double check. But yeah, that's the process. So give it a try. I'll share the instructions below the video. And so if you want to walk through it step by step, the instructions will be there for you to check your work. And if you missed a step, you can go back and see what you might have missed. But that's it for this video. So I'll see you in the next video.